cercherà di riscattarsi nella manche che sta per prendere il via. Le ragazze MXGP sono pronte per dare gli ultimi segnali agli ordini.
Hello and a very warm welcome to Riola Sarda, round 3 of the FIM Women's Motocross World Championship with me, Paul Malin. We are at Riola Sarda, and that is the circuit in amongst the dunes. You can see the shoreline over there, and we are on the island of Sardinia. We're in a beautiful part of the world as well, almost 2,000 kilometers of coastline here. And we're, just west of the mainland, across the water in the Mediterranean Sea from the mainland of Italy. The racetrack here, same as it was last year, 1,750 meters long, looked very flat when we got here on Thursday, but as this being a sand track, and you know what, a very, very deep sand track as well, very heavy, very grabby on the front end, slightly downhill into that first corner, and then about 30 meters out that first turn, we've got the foxhole shot line into turn 2. Around the outside of that turn, by the way, is the entry to pit lane, which is to the right of the riders in that first sort of intermediate sector. But in and amongst the dunes, very, very deep sand. It's very, very warm out on the track as well. Temperatures just shy of around sort of 28, 29 degrees or thereabouts. But WMX Race 1 is about to get underway here in the time practice session. Fantastic time for Daniela Guillen from Spain for the RFME WMX team on her KTM. She was 3.5 tenths quicker than Shana van der Vlis. Lynn Volk on the JK Racing Yamaha, who just happens to lead the championship, and the Honda 114 Motorsports machine of Martine Hughes. She was 1.6 off the pace, just 2 tenths behind the championship leader. And then rounding out the top 5, we had Britt Jans Bacon, Nancy van der Ven, Larissa Papenmeier, Sarah Anderson, Amandine Verstappen, Georgia Blazic, the Jerez 71 Racing Yamaha rider. Fell in the final turn, just bottom corner there of your screen, bottom left turn. Got caught under the bike towards the end of the time practice session. Back wheel was rubbing against her back, pulled the back protector out and all sorts, but she is okay, and she will go to the line for the first of these 2 races. Championship leader Lynn Volk then on 97 points. 6 separate her from her fellow countrywoman or compatriot Nancy van der Ven, and in third another Dutch girl, Shana van der Vlis. She is 29 off the lead, 23 behind van der Ven. Then we've got Larissa Papenmeier, Amandine Verstappen, Martine Hughes, Malu Jacobsen, Sarah Anderson, Georgia Blazic, and TJ O'Hare. Talia Jade and Borchers is 11th. Courtney Duncan not here this weekend, still recovering from that broken collarbone, so we will more than likely see her back in Spain in 2 weeks' time. Lynn Volk, JK Racing Yamaha, third in the time practice session, currently leads the championship. Shana van der Vlis, second in time practice, currently third in the WMX standings. And the number 423 of Larissa Papenmeier, the Yamaha Racing 423 rider. Nancy van der Ven, number 85. What can she do today? Obviously, the favourites on paper would be Lynn Volk, and this is in no particular order: Nancy van der Ven, Shana van der Vlis. Sarah Anderson could have a hand in the overall classification, so could Martine Hughes from Norway. almost on the starter's orders. In fact, we are. So the green flag down here then. The fly racing 15-second border, 20 minutes plus 2. On a hot day here in Sardinia, who is it going to be that grabs that all-important whole shot, but at the same time, who can go the distance, 20 plus 2, on what is a very, very hot day here at Riola Sarda. Big hitters to the inside gates here. Closest to us, they're on the right side, dropping downhill into a right-hand turn. Just easing their way through that first turn. It's Van der Ven who leads the way. Who was it that went down? Was it the championship leader in the first turn? Yes or no? No, she's there in second place. So it's Van der Ven who leads the way. Volk in second position. Third is Van der Vliet in the orange. It looks like Hughes in fourth position on the 114 Honda. Or it was. Did she fall in that second turn? Third turn at the top of the hill? Possibly. Challenge for the lead here. Lynn Volk charges up the inside and Nancy Van der Ven takes over the lead at the first time of asking. Gloves are off already between the two Dutch girls. A third rider in the background there, the 188 Shana Van der Vliet, also from the Netherlands. Coming towards us, Lynn Volk it is, championship leader in red and with the red plate on the front of that JK Yamaha. The Surrey 71 Yamaha of Nancy Van der Ven is in second. Shana Van der Vliet in third on the KTM. Fourth is Verstappen, the 9mm energy drink Bud Racing Kawasaki. Then we've got Pappenmeyer Yamaha 423 as Shana Van der Vliet looks to go around the outside and then up the inside. Going to be a drag race down this next straight through the waves, and Van der Vliet does go past Van der Ven. Doubles her way in, and then this horrible wave section here. You've got to be so committed down this part of the racetrack. You see those inside lines are the more wavy, if you like, the more cupped out. But these three already making a break for it. Big panic rev there for Van der Ven as she hit the jump into the final turn. Big bank turn to the outside. Short drag before you hit the Monster Energy finish line. And it's Volk who has about a 1.5 second advantage at the moment over Van der Vliet and Van der Ven. Verstappen there in fourth, just rounding the first turn now. Then we've got Pappenmeyer, Daniela Guillet, TJ O'Hare, Salebo, Georgia Blasick and Virginia Gamon, Sandra Keller, Gabriela Sedados and Sarah Anderson, Britt Jans Bacon, Avery Berry. And then just bringing up the tail end of the points, Danny Gleason on the 125 KTM in 16th. Then we've got the 153 of Barbara Agard Anderson, Fiona Hopper, Malu Jakobsen and Martine Hughes. So she either went in the first turn or turn 3, did the Honda 114 rider. Nothing to separate the first three girls here at the moment. Shana Van der Vliet looking to make up some serious points in the championship. She's 23 behind Van der Ven, 29 off the leader, not just of the race but of the championship, Lynn Volk, who so far has 3 wins and a second to her name. Van der Ven a win and 3 seconds. Van der Vliet in orange in second place at the moment, a third, a fourth and a couple of 6th places. But it's the JK Racing Yamaha 172 championship leaders red plate, Lynn Volk, who leads the way here on this second lap in Riola Sarda. Hot conditions. The breeze is there, but it's almost like being in a sauna though. Not too much respite from it. She goes wide to the inside. Van der Vliet cuts to the inside, probably less braking bumps, but a tighter entry and exit out of that final turn. And just 1.2 seconds separate the first three on track. Down past pit lane then for the third time of Askin. You see the gap in the opposite direction, almost, in fact, the whole length of pit lane between third and fourth. Van der Ven and Verstappen. Daniela Guillen is up into 5th place. She has dispatched Larissa Papamaya. O'Hare still there in 7. Salebo 8. Jans Baker 9. And Blatzig finds herself in 10th place. Van der Vlis looking very, very menacing. Your winner from the round at Lommel last year. All 3 riders here leading the way from the Netherlands. Very, very comfortable in these deep sandy conditions. There are a multitude of tracks like this from their homeland. There is his 274 of Verstappen. Daniela Guillen, though, has found her way past. And there is the 2.55 RFME rider. See how the track tightens up in certain places. The important thing is you need that rhythm. You need to maintain a high pace around this racetrack if you can. Easier said than done, though. The slower parts of the track, you get these big holes starting to form. Back marker's already out on track. That'll be the 29 of Alyssa Harkin of Canada. Trying her best to stay out of the race line as the leaders come through. And Van der Ven has made a big mistake because she's not on the rear wheel of Shana Vlis anymore. So Volt just takes a quick look across as she exits the final turn. Probably sees Van der Ven coming through, but maybe even not, because look at the gap. She's made a massive mistake. So probably 4 seconds into the final sector. And then there were 2 battling over first place in this race. Working their way up into turn 5. Bank to the outside. This left-hander drops away on the exit through that right-hander turn 6 and then 7. Another bold turn. And a mistake there for Van der Vlis as well. Just got it wrong, missed her entry point, and it's cost her a good deal of time as well in the process. She's going to have to dig deep to regroup and remount the challenge, if you like. Waiting for, in fact, we have lost Van der Ven altogether because there's Guillen. She's in 3rd. Verstappen 4th. O'Hare 5th. I wonder if she has gone into pit lane, perhaps. Maybe been down. Maybe got a helmet full of goggles full of sand. Face full of sand is what I meant to say, but she has lost a lot of time because obviously from the finish line to sector 1, that is going into turn 5, and in that time coming out of turn 2 you've got the pit lane area. So Van der Ven down in 11th place at the moment. Not ideal for the number 85, who is still chasing her first and elusive world title. Shana Van der Vlis has bridged the gap back to Lynn Volt. The battle for the lead continues. 8 seconds further back, we have Daniela Guillen, the RFME WMX team KTM rider, putting a fantastic lap in time practice to give herself the first pick of the gates. And last time around, a 2:03.1 was actually quicker than these two, who were in the 2:04s. These two, of course, fighting for the championship. But the 2:55 of Daniela Guillen. First race in the season for her at the moment. Hasn't scored any points, hasn't showed up at any round so far. Or if she has, she hasn't scored any points. But she's there lurking in the background. Just trying to get distance over some of those smaller jumps, get the other side of those holes, keep that momentum going. As soon as you shut off, the front wheel wants to dip down and the sand almost grabs it, but same as the opening lap, Van der Vlis trying to run up the inside of Volk, who covers the inside over on the far part of the racetrack, but she's got good drive on the entry into the waves. And Shana Van der Vlis may take over the lead, and she does. She is the new race leader. These two are used to racing each other at home in the Dutch Championship, of course. Might take some of the pressure off of Lynn Volk as well, arriving here for the first time with the championship leader's red plate. Van der Ven is up into 10th now, by the way. This was the pass over on the right-hand side, landed on the optimum line going into a right-hander at the end of the straight. Got more distance, but Van der Valk knew she was there. Little resistance from the championship leader. I wonder if she would have had a pit board as well as she went past pit lane, just to say. Van der Ven is in 11th, but now up to 9th, of course. So she's finding her way through. She's passed Sarah Anderson, has the number 85, Ceres 71, Yamaha. Volk just dropping off the pace a little bit, letting Van der Vlis have this one for now. Meanwhile, Larissa Papameyer in blue and pink, tight inside line. She's got Britt Jans Bacon just behind her. These two fighting over 6th place at the moment. And just ahead of them, Talia Jade O'Hare, Honda 114. She is in 5th place. There she is in red. TJ currently 10th in the championship standings. Best race of the season so far, race 2, where she was 5th in Portugal. Currently ripping around in 5th place at the moment. Where's her teammate actually? Hughes. Down on the first lap, whether the first turn or the third turn. She's now already up into 12th place. And lapping pretty good as well, 2:07s for the Norwegian. As Britt Jans Bacon up the inside of Papameyer. So takes over 6th place. And over on the left-hand side, as we look down the straight, the 6.25 of O'Hare now under pressure from the number 5 of Jans Bacon. Girls have never raced here before for a WMX round. I'm sure there are some that have been around and spun a few laps in training, but Jans Bacon charges down the inside of the Australian. Coolly pulls a rip-off on the exit of the turn or roll-off and takes over 5th place. 2 positions in about a half a lap for the Dutch girl. O'Hare then, the middle rider in shot. Going back after the number 5. Maybe didn't realise she was quite as under pressure as she was through that final turn. But also just looking for smoother lines around the outside. So obviously made a good start. Now she starts to look over the shoulder, sees the 423 of Papameyer right there behind her. Meanwhile, further down the leaderboard, Van der Ven is just at the top of the straight, the other side of the monster bridge. She is now in 8th place. So she has also done away with Matthias Salebo, and she'll be coming into view any moment now, the number 85. So I'm assuming it must have been a goggle change. Because it doesn't look like there's too much damage. Doesn't look like she's being down at all. But whatever it was, it cost her a lot of time, some 25 seconds. And she's had to dig real deep just to get back on terms. Well, she's got 5.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. That's the number 85. She knows even with this race, second race tomorrow, and 2 more rounds to come in Spain and in Turkey at the end of September, she still has a very real possibility of becoming world champion for the first time. And she's looking very fast and efficient at the moment. There's Verstappen through the first turn at the moment, and Jens Bacon just behind her. Then we've got Papenmeier and O'Hare here. So Papenmeier has found a way past and moves into 6th. Bit of clear track ahead of her now for the little German. But again, she's going to have to dig real deep if she's going to latch onto the rear of Jens Bacon, who has Verstappen in her sights. But Jens Bacon, the best race of 8 so far this year. Got a couple of 5ths last year in Lommel. TJ not getting over the Monster Energy jump in the background. Jumping onto the plateau and then off the other side. So I'm assuming there's some pretty gnarly ruts on the face that you can't see that you've got to attack on the back wheel if you're to get that distance. But just looking at the lap times here, last time around 2:06.4 Van der Ven, 2:10.7 O'Hare. And there is O'Hare. Here is Shana van der Vlis. So van der Vlis leads with just over 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go, making it look very easy at the moment. Already got a race win under her belt. Race 2 in Lommel last year. Looking at trying to make it 2 race wins now is the 188. These conditions certainly favouring the riders from the Netherlands this weekend. As for the weather conditions, temperature-wise, it's hot for everybody. Right, there's Van der Ven all over the back of O'Hare now, through the first turn, over the foxhole shot line and into turn 2, top right corner of your screen. And almost loses the front end going in there as well. So Van der Ven doing good to bridge the gap. These two fighting over 7th place. And she goes through. An easy pass in the end for the rider in white. So Van der Ven now 7th. What is the gap between her and Papenmeier? About 5 seconds at the moment. Van der Ven was only about half a second quicker than her that time around, though. But look at the difference there, jumping longer than O'Hare. And you see the ruts on the face of the jump there. Look, last time around, O'Hare couldn't get the distance over this Monster Energy jump. Will she get it this time around? Yes or no? Yes, she does. So just a mistake then last time around. Has Jens Bacon made a mistake? Is that her there, directly in front of... Oh, no. She's still there ahead of Papenmeier. Papenmeier is closing in, though, on the number 5. Here's Verstappen. 9mm energy drink Bud Racing Kawasaki rider, 274. She goes through in 4th position at the moment. Here is Jens Bacon. And then Larissa Papenmeier. Her lap time last time around, a 2:07.83, 2:07.2 for Van der Ven. What will it be this time around now that the Dutch girl has clear track ahead of her? We are into the 3 laps to go territory. Back marker again there. Van der Ven over the line. 2:08.6, about 4/10 slower than Pappenmeyer. And TJ O'Hare, the Honda 114 rider. This looks like it's through the first turn, so just after the finish line area, possibly. Let's have a look. Oh, a couple of corners from the finish. So O'Hare then out of 8th. There's your 5. Britt Jens Bacon directly ahead of her, just out of shot on that green Kawasaki. The 274 of Amandine Verstappen. Still hanging on to that 4th place at the moment, but for how much longer? 2:09.3, 2:08.5. Verstappen and Jens Bacon, respectively, last time around on lap 9. This is lap 10. We're halfway around it. Here is your race leader, Shana van der Vlis. She has almost 12 seconds at the start of the lap over Lynn Volk, who will still extend her championship lead if she stays where she is. Be out to 14 points now, but that depends on what Van der Ven does as we head into the penultimate lap. Star performance from the tiny, I was going to say tiniest, but if you had a contest, but if you had a short off, it would be between Pappenmeyer and Van der Vlis. Here is Pappenmeyer out of the final turn, over the line, 6th place, quicker than Jens Bacon, who has Verstappen ahead of her. So all of a sudden, 4th, 5th, 6th in the same turn, practically, with 2 to go. Great ride this from Verstappen. She's got a 4th, a 5th, a 6th and a 7th so far this year. No particular order in terms of race finishes, but the former red plate holder as well when she won, was it 2019? Won the first round in Valkenswaard. Jens Bacon just getting held up behind the back marker there, takes it to the outside on the exit. Pappenmeyer has the Dutch girl, number 5, in her sights. Oh, Bacon down. So Pappenmeyer takes over 5th from Jens Bacon. And Van der Ven up there as well, so she was closing all the time. So there's Verstappen. Here is Pappenmeyer. And is there going to be 1 or 2 more passes at the end of the race for Nancy Van der Ven? Let's have a look around, just around the corner. Not there, not coming into view just yet. Still about 6 seconds further back, well, she was at the start of the lap. You may just see her pop over the bitchy tabletop in the background there. Yeah, there she was. So Jens Bacon losing 2 positions. But a good rescue effort for the number 85, Nancy Van der Ven. Not sure what the problem was. We never saw her fall. We just know she lost a lot of time in sector 4 and then even more time in sector 1 the very next lap. Can only assume there was a visit in a pit lane for whatever reason. Either way, she found herself down in around about 11th or 12th place and has had to pull through the field once again. Now, if that would have been Majora or somewhere else, maybe not as easy to do it, but in conditions that definitely favour her, she's still given herself a very real possibility of making the podium by the end of race 2. Still on the final lap of race 1, though. And Shana van der Vlis on course for her first race win of the season, her 2nd career race win. long sweeping left-hander, doubling in to the wave section. Malou Jakobsen just gives her enough room. 2 corners to go then. Shana van der Vlis. She was 20 seconds clear at the start of the lap. She hasn't taken her foot off the gas. She rounds out the final turn. The 188 wins race 1 here in Riola Sardo. Waiting for Lynn Volk to come through. Here she is, the 172. She had about 8 seconds at the start of the lap over Daniela Guillen, and she manages to hold that as well. She'll be more than pleased with that. Here she is, championship leader. Yeah, nice little fist pump there for her. But what about, we've got Papenmeier up to 4th. She's found her way past Verstappen on the final lap. We are waiting for Verstappen to come through, so maybe, in fact, she's over the line now. 12 laps complete. But Papenmeier did go through into that 4th place. And Van der Ven over the line now in 6th place, ahead of Britt Jens Bacon. Anyway, let's go take a word with Lisa. She's with our race winner, Shana van der Vlis.
Shana van der Vlis, great job. You're looking to make up some points coming into this round. You've done just that with a very comfortable race win, your first of the season.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the win today. Started, I think, in 3rd position, and first few laps I just followed the other girls, and then I made the pass, made a little gap, and tried to stay on the bike. Yeah, I'm really happy.
Good luck for the second race.
Good job, Shana van der Vlis. The 188 on the KTM, as you said, started in 3rd position and basically stayed up on 2 wheels. Followed 2 riders ahead of her. In fact, she passed Van der Ven on the opening lap, didn't she? And then went after Lynn Volk, and she went on to win. 12 laps later, Shana van der Vlis, your winner from race 1. Here's how it finishes then. Shana van der Vlis, your winner from Lynn Volk, Daniela Guillen, and Larissa Papenmeier on the final lap ahead of Verstappen. Nancy van der Ven was 6th, Britt Jens Bacon 7th. Sarah Anderson found her way past Matthias Salebo to take 8th on the final lap. Martine Hughes recovering well for 10th, ahead of Georgia Blasig, Sandra Keller, Malu Jakobsen, Danny Gleason, Virginie Gamond, Avery Berry, Gabriela Sedados, Fiona Hopper, and Alicia Reitzer, with Barbara Agard Anderson in 20th place. On a hot day here then in Sardinia, let's take a look at what happened in WMX Race 1. WMX Race 1 here at Riola Sardo, round 3 of the Women's Motocross World Championship. Charging into the first few corners. Yeah, look, Van der Ven with the whole shot, but over on the right-hand side, the 5'11" of Martine Hughes was there in about 5th or 6th place. So she fell, turn 3, just after pit lane, top of the hill, turn 4 even. But it was Volk, the championship leader, there in 2nd. Van der Vlis 3rd. Lynn Volk struck early, though, halfway around the first lap to take over the lead from Nancy van der Ven in white. And towards the end of the same lap, top of your screen in orange, Van der Vlis also found a way past the number 85 to take over 2nd. Then Van der Ven just started losing contact. She lost about 4 seconds towards the end of this lap, and then she disappeared altogether, possibly into pit lane. Battle for the lead, though, continued. Van der Vlis edged away alongside and up the inside of Lynn Volk to take over the top spot. The number 5 of Britt Jens Bacon just went by the number 423 of Larissa Papenmeier. And then Bacon was on a bit of a charge. Found a way past the 625 of TJ O'Hare as well. So too did Larissa Papameyer, and then shortly after that, O'Hare was out of the race from 8th place. But not before Nancy van der Ven had also carved away past. That was the moment O'Hare had problems. And then Britt Jansbacon, she tipped over, handing 2 positions to Larissa Papameyer and Nancy van der Ven. But it was a win for the first time this year for Shana van der Vlis. Take a look at some of the best moments then, shall we? And when we return, it'll be 25 minutes past the hour, so about 10 minutes from now, and it'll be for EMX 250 Race 1. We'll see you then.
Posso